Imagine the club you love torn apart from the inside, betrayed, burned by money, politics, and the blood of its legends. If you've ever loved FC Barcelona, don't forget to like and subscribe, because this isn't just about football. This is about how love can become hell. Barcelona was once a palace, but it was never built on gold. It was built on pain. In 1936, in a single bloody day, Barcelona's president Josep Sunyol was executed by Franco's troops. Not because of war, but because he dreamed of freedom. His body fell, but his spirit merged with the Camp Nou soil, creating an eternal curse. Barcelona would always be hated by power. And from that day on, the club never knew peace. They tried to stand tall, but the shadow of dictatorship, censorship, and military pressure turned Barca into a symbol of rebellion. They weren't just a football team. They were enemies of the state. And every victory was a bullet fired back. Still, they endured. Then came the era of Johan Cruyff, the revolutionary. He saved the club with beautiful football, but even he was betrayed by his own board. They said, too much control in one man's hands. They feared him, so they fired him. The first betrayal from within. But Barca didn't die. Under Guardiola, they created a dream. 2009, the world watched perfection. Messi, Iniesta, but behind the beauty, pressure crushed the souls. Guardiola left, not because he failed, but because the weight of perfection became a prison. And that was just the beginning. In 2017, Neymar ran away. It wasn't just about money. The locker room was rotting. Politics overtook tactics. Greed overpowered vision. Barca began buying players with outrageous prices, with no plan, no future. Then came 2019, Anfield, 4-0. Despair. Messi stared into the void. No tears, no screams, just emptiness. And instead of helping him, the club blamed him. The fans were divided. The media attacked. And behind the curtain, President Bartomeu paid social media trolls to destroy the image of club legends, including Messi. Barcelona murdered its own heroes. 2020, Bayern Munich, 8-2. Humiliation. A public execution. The grave was wide open. Messi begged to leave. They forced him to stay, but he could no longer watch his beloved club burn. 2021, he left. Not with respect, but like a refugee thrown out because of debt, because of greed, because of betrayal. He cried alone. The world blamed the club. And Camp Nou? Empty. Quieter than a grave. Barcelona was no longer a club. It was a shattered soul, destroyed from within. The old curse had returned. Every hero will be betrayed. Now Barca is just a name. No soul, no direction. But from the ashes sometimes comes light. Laporta returned, with scars, with empty hands. He slashed salaries, let go of stars, and began rebuilding from nothing with blood and tears. And from the rubble came new names. Pedri, Gavi, Lamine Yamal, not superstars, but soldiers, kids born without trophies, but filled with fire. They aren't a golden generation. They're the generation of hope. Because Barca was never about who plays. It's about how you play, with heart, with soul. Barcelona is trying to rise again. But don't be fooled. The curse still lingers. Every step forward, haunted by the past. They're not just trying to win. They're trying to atone. And maybe that's why we still love Barcelona. Not because they're perfect, but because they're broken and still brave enough to stand. If this story sent chills down your spine, hit like and subscribe. Because Barcelona isn't a fairy tale. It's a bloody legend of love that refused to die.